On last week's episode, we had the experience of a private room. We entered the La Rioja region and stopped to hear some beautiful music on the mountain. Welcome to episode 5 of my Camino Diaries. Good morning. It is Thursday the 23rd. I actually almost thought I was a Wednesday today for some reason. I'm losing track of the dates, but another morning. It's a little colder than the last few days at the start, so yeah, I should have probably worn my gloves, but it'll likely start warming up once I continue to walk more. We just left Santo Domingo de la Calzada. What's today? We are going for the same mileage, roughly 22 kilometers, about 14 miles to Belorado. We'll see what we have. I think the first stop or next town over is about 5k, so it's not too bad. Stop for a coffee there, maybe a snack. I did have banana and orange juice this morning that I got yesterday from the grocery. I ate half of it, and then we'll save the other half for at some point of the day, so that's something I could look forward to. But for now, getting the legs all warmed up and get on going. Sun's coming out. One of the items I had brought with me was a pair of earbuds to listen to music, podcasts, or even audiobooks. But somehow, I didn't feel the need for it. I just listened to what was around me. By this point, we had been walking about a week and a half. The insoles I had bought for my shoes in Los Arcos were helping a bit, although my feet were still achy, well, considering we were walking long miles and kilometers. Roughly 6 kilometers left. Sun is out. Still a bit chilly every once in a while. We're right by a highway, which is fine. Looking forward to tonight's albergue. Kick off my feet. And supposedly there's a pool there, so maybe I'll dip my feet in the water for a bit just to help it relax. As we near our albergue, we were approached by school children practicing their English. It was part of their class to interview pilgrims. I am from the United States. California.
En California.
Made it to Belorado. Checked into my albergue for tonight, and I got the top bunk tonight. Did you know Belorado has their own version of a Walk of Fame? You can see the footprints of some notable names who walked the Camino de Frances. Now, if you're wondering about the pool, unfortunately I didn't get a chance to dip my feet. I mostly spent my time with my Camino family. And a very important trip to the clinic. Unfortunately, Sebastian developed a very gnarly blister on his foot, so we wanted to be sure he was okay. Quick trip to the clinic with us here, making sure Sebastian is 100% back to 100%. So, yes. Special stamp.
Never had
All
it
right,
before.
update. We just came from the clinic.
I will survive.
Sebastian will survive. Just got a couple of items here to help with his foot. He's got to take it a little easy from here on out, at least for the next few days. But I'm glad it's nothing serious. Okay. Now, grocery shopping.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, look.
Some Filipinos.
Now, one thing to keep in mind about the menu del dia or pilgrim's menu is leafy greens and vegetables can be lacking at times. Aside from the good old potato, if you see a vegetable on the menu, take it, because sometimes it turns out to be one of the best dishes you'll have. It may be quite a while. Morning. It is Friday. Is that the right? Yes, it's Friday, 24th. Just left Belorado. I've been walking about 20 minutes at this point. It's pretty chilly. Sun is beginning to come out. No clouds in sight yet. So I think that's a good thing. It may be hot today, so we'll see. We are heading to Ages or Ages. Got Sebastian here.
Morning.
So we got 17 miles, roughly 28 kilometers. I slept pretty okay last night, even though I had a top bunk. It wasn't too bad, and I had a really good pilgrim's meal. Very delicious, probably second best to the one I had in Zubiri. Overall, still good. I guess it's a great way to end the night and start the morning. hotels and oops, it wasn't recording yet. Had a nice little pit stop here at Espinosa del Camino. Lovely little cafe once you kind of turn into town, and I will say their toast is pretty good. So if you want toast, nice and warm, cafe con leche and orange juice, this is a good stop for it. Definitely worth it. Now we're on to, I think, Villafranca is the next town over, which is roughly, I think, maybe 5 kilometers. I honestly don't remember from my app, but we will get there. And I believe there is a mountain that we will be climbing later to head to San Juan de Ortega and then Ajes. So we're making good time. We've been walking for a good 2 hours, and we're close to about 9 kilometers in. So it's not too bad. So let's keep going. Here's a little tip about walking poles or trekking poles. Get yourself a pair of rubber tips to put at the bottom. This will prevent from the metal ends of it from hitting the ground and making that clickety-clackety noise. We have a steady incline up a mountain today, but mainly just a gradual incline. Whew. The further we walk, the more we see familiar faces. Faces that we've seen the day before, the week before, or just a minute before. It's a sting cover. One of the hardest parts of the Camino is always saying goodbye to friends we've met along the way. Today, we said goodbye to a couple friends from Colorado. Just had a little lunch pit stop at San Juan de Ortega. I will say, it was actually pretty good. Would recommend the pizza at the first albergue there on the left. And now we have roughly about 4 kilometers, under 4 kilometers left to Ajes for our albergue for tonight. So it'll be nice to finally kick up my feet and just relax. Is that right?
Yes, I'm looking forward.
Yes, me too. A handful of the Camino family will continue on to Atapuerca. I, on the other hand, will stay in Ajes, which I'm glad I did. Ajes is a very small town, roughly the size of 2 city blocks. Now you may be wondering how we all sleep in our bunks. Most albergues and hostels will give you a clean paper bedsheet and pillowcase. From there, we will put our sleeping bags or sleeping liners on top. And sometimes, if you're lucky, some clean sheets and maybe a blanket. Before dinner, we go for the usual cerveza to relax and kind of decompress from the day. And indulge in some Irish humor.
Forget about our pilgrimage. Tonight, we stop to repent and enjoy our lives. And it's one day where all pilgrims...
And I will say, for a small town, they have one of the best burgers on the Camino. Overall, it was a good food day. Good morning. It is Saturday. I'm still getting my days mixed up, but today I think I got it right. Woke up the usual time, 5:30. Sebastian and I just left the albergue for today, and in Ages, and now we are heading to Burgos today. It's one of the major cities. Nice cold morning, very chilly, not as cold as this morning or yesterday's morning, sort of, but pretty nice. Sun is coming out, one of my favorite parts of the day, seeing the sunrise as I start walking. Had my morning banana. It's a good thing I bought that yesterday at the cafe because there's really nothing open in Ajes right now because it's a very small town. Lovely town, but very small. Today's mileage is roughly about 20 kilometers. So that would be close to maybe 13, 14 around there, roundabout. So not as long, which is good, meaning we'll likely get to our albergue for the night a lot quicker than yesterday. So let's get on going. The weather on the Camino can vary widely every season. As we're walking in the springtime, the first week we've had rain, and the second week has become a little bit warmer, but still cool in the mornings and in the evenings. there's a huge city in the distance right over there, and we think that's Burgos, so hopefully it is that far distance over there. Hey, we just had our first official coffee break, which is literally half of the mileage kilometers that we were supposed to do today. It was nice though, some lovely walk. It was good to have that, you know, that Boston cream and the cafe con leche. Oh, so delicious. Despite the chaoticness of inside the cafe, it was good. It was good. The last 10 kilometers can be a bit of a challenge heading into Burgos. You're mainly walking on busy streets, highways, and towns. Okay, after walking for it seems like forever in the industrial section before coming into Burgos, we're now in Burgos. So finally. There was apparently a turnoff for a river path, but it looked closed, so here we are in the industrial section of the routes. Not the prettiest of the walk, so if you want to go take a taxi, go ahead. But if you want to keep walking, just keep walking. Nothing fancy here. You'll find yourself walking for quite a bit since the historical part of the city is actually on the other side. I will admit though, after the last few days of the nice peacefulness in the mountains and small villages and towns, being back in the city feels kind of stressful. Just all the hustle and bustle that's happening. I don't know. Hostel here in Burgos, top bunk once again is fine. My locker. May use that tonight. And there's a plug. This is the daily routine. Once I've settled into my hostel, I take a little tour around the cathedral. Would definitely recommend visiting this place. It is a sight to see.
Because if you go
Pintos and beers.
I can finish it in 3 days. Less likely.
The one thing I've come to appreciate about the Camino is the sense of community that I've been fortunate to have. I wouldn't trade that for anything. And as luck would have it, on this night in Burgos, it was La Noche Blanca. La Noche Blanca, or White Night, is a cultural celebration. It is where different artists perform in parks and squares all over the city. And you can see all the celebrations around. I'll definitely have to come back to fully experience this festival. As much as I would love to stay up and see all the sights, tomorrow we set out in a section that will challenge us mentally on the Camino. So with that, we had to call it a night and brave the crowds on the way back to our hostels. On the next episode, visiting a church where nuns are the caretakers and receiving a blessing, eating some delicious homemade paella, visiting some ruins of an old hospital, more encounters with our four-legged friends, and we enter the next section of the Camino, the famed Meseta. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.